Imagine that you have finally found your dream home, maybe one with a tire swing or a white picket fence. So you go to your local bank, apply for a mortgage, and to your dismay, you're declined. And you are declined because you have a poor credit score. Let's dive a little bit deeper into how this could have been avoided. What is a credit score? A credit score is a number assigned to an individual that indicates to lenders their ability to repay their debt. What exactly does all this mean? Monthly activity is compiled and analyzed to determine a person's beacon score, a way of determining how creditworthy that person is. Who creates these scores? The three major companies that issue credit scores are Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. These companies analyze hundreds of factors to arrive at a score, but there are 5 factors that come into play. First, your payment history. Notice that this is the highest percentage of your score, and that is because lenders want to see someone who is going to pay them back. They want someone who's responsible, who is educated, who wants to do the right thing and pay back their debt. Second, your debt to credit ratio. To many, this is the most confusing. The best example would be if you had a credit card with a limit of $2,000, you would want to keep it at or below 20%. So the most that you'd want to put on this card would be $400 a month. This lets lenders know that you're responsible, that you can handle that kind of money, and that you're not spending money just to spend money. This accounts for 30% of your score. Second, your types of credit. Having numerous credit cards goes nowhere near as far as having a mix of credit. And while a mix of credit cards is a mix, what I mean by that is that lenders would like to see someone who might have an installment loan, an auto loan, a mortgage, a credit card, a charge card, or a finance company on their credit score. And while you would not have to have all of these accounts, lenders want to see a good combination. New credit. Lenders like to see someone who uses their credit. And while an individual looks rather risky when they have a ton of new accounts open, especially if they already have young credit, they do want to see someone who is using their credit, whose credit is constantly moving and growing. And lastly, the length of credit history. This, to a lot of people, is the most frustrating because it cannot be changed. All you can do is wait for time to pass. What you can do to ensure that you have a good length of credit will be to not close your oldest line of credit, which we will briefly discuss later on. Some positive factors would include keeping your utilization at or below 20%. Always, always, always paying on time. Lenders want to see someone, once again, who is responsible and has the ability to repay their debt. Some minor positive factors would include avoid having too many credit inquiries. Lenders find it risky when they see a credit report that has numerous, quote, hits on it. And number of accounts. While lenders, once again, don't want to see a lot of accounts, they do want to see someone who has an active credit report that is being used. Some negative factors include major factors such as tax liens, bankruptcy, and foreclosure. Also, late payments, excessive late payments. Some minor factors include one-time delinquency, or, like we said earlier, closing your oldest credit line. Don't worry, if you've had any of these, your credit can rebuild. And while things like bankruptcy and foreclosures take 7 to 10 years, you can always rebuild your score, and they eventually, in a sense, fall off the credit report. You want to make sure that you have a good credit score. The US average credit score is a 678. How do you compare to the US average? You want to have a good score so that you can get a mortgage. A higher score will yield a much better interest rate. This will ultimately save you thousands of dollars. A better score highly increases your chances of even qualifying for a home loan. Every day, thousands of people are turned down for a home loan because their score isn't good enough. And in today's society, you have to have a rather good score to even be approved. More opportunities will be available from your lender, while someone with fair credit might be given the opportunity to have a home loan. Someone with excellent credit might have numerous options for different types of loans that are all a mortgage, maybe with an adjustable rate or a locked-in rate. Your employers. Many people are not aware, but when you apply for a job, your employer will pull your credit because they want to see an applicant who is creditworthy. They want someone who's trustworthy, someone who has a good record with the public. To many of them, that is very important. Having a low or poor credit score can cost you a job. While confusing at times, researching your credit can pay off in the long run. Your credit score is almost like your credit score in school. You work through primary and secondary school. Make sure that your record is blemish-free so that colleges, good colleges, will want you to be part of their school. That applies to credit. Having a blemish-free credit history can lead to bigger, better relationships with better perks with creditors. Ultimately, taking care of your credit will take care of you. I hope that this has helped everybody. I hope that this clears up some confusion and that it's cleared up some gray areas. While credit can be confusing, this should be a great start to having an excellent credit score.